Today I just wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about energy transfers. I know that we've spoken about energy transfers in one of our previous episodes called Are You an Empath? But I feel like it's so needed, this conversation, because I've been seeing so many people really struggling with this year. And if you ask me, energy is by far the most valuable currency that we have. When we are depleted of energy, we find ourselves completely exhausted. We find ourselves not able to be motivated. We struggle with being around certain people. And this can be such a challenge. It's one of the biggest things that I talk about in my teachings, and I'm really passionate about empowering people on understanding that energy transfers are unnecessary. If you're not sure what I'm talking about with this whole energy transfer business, I recommend that you listen to Are You an Empath episode, which was in season 2. This was a great episode that allowed people to understand more about what it's like to be an empath, how it can affect us, what the energy transfer experience is like compared to what a resonance experience is like. You might be curious to have a look at season 2, Are You an Empath? But the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because it's completely unnecessary to be drained by other people. It is not something that is inevitable. It's not something that we can't manage. It's completely in our control. Yet we feel like we're completely helpless in a situation. So for example, that one person at work that just drains your energy, or that person in a class that you feel really uneasy around, and you try to find ways to just avoid them at all cost, or you psych yourself up, oh no, this is going to be so bad, I'm going to be around this person and they're going to suck the life out of me. It doesn't have to be like that. In fact, you could utilize these particular scenarios and events where you're around people that are quite draining as a practice to start to really amplify and be responsible for your own energy. But it's so easy to say you're responsible for your own energy, no one can take the energy from you, but how is what I want to talk about today. I want to empower you guys to really learn a little bit more about how powerful you actually are. So first of all, no one can take your energy without your permission. It's just not possible. So every time you are feeling drained or feeling that experience of losing your power or just feeling exhausted after being in someone's presence, you have let your guard down. You have dropped in frequency to match their frequency. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's give you a little bit of a refresher on how energy works, because this is going to be really important in understanding how you're actually managing your own energy. We are beings made up of energy, as we've spoken about in other podcasts. Our energy is affected by our mind. And when I'm talking about mind, I'm talking about your thoughts and your emotions. So we have a thought, for example, if you thought about a little baby right now, you would be flooded with love and compassion and joy, most likely. And that would drop down, and an emotion would have been brought through of compassion, joy, and love. And that emotion can send out a signal, and it has a particular level of vibration. So high vibrational energies and thoughts and emotions are very tight zigzag. And if you think about really dense emotions and thoughts, they are quite dense. So thoughts of like hatred, fear, guilt, shame, they're very, very dense energies. And this is really, you can feel the shift in you. You can feel when you've been around someone that's really expansive. You kind of find that you're bouncing off each other and both of you are high as kites after your encounter. And you sort of build the energy together. You almost grow more energy, which is really cool. And we've all had those friends. We're all just laughing, having an absolute ball together. And then the opposite experience where you've got that person that's quite low vibration, and here you are coming up at a really high vibration. Due to the law of attraction, this just doesn't work. It's really uncomfortable being so separate in vibration. So usually what happens is the person with the high vibration drops. This is all unconscious. It's something we don't realize we're doing. And we drop to the lower vibration. And then all of a sudden, we're starting to complain about the same things as them. We're starting to get into the gossip or the drama or, yeah, the weather's so crap today and whatnot. So you start to be at their level. But for empaths, which we spoke about in the other podcast, it doesn't just stop there. There's an energy transfer experience. So what happens is we want to help everyone, we want to heal everyone because we can feel how intense their emotions are. So we transfer our energy, we actually give our own energy to this person, and this person drinks it up thirsty. But there has to be an energy exchange. So they give us their really low vibrational energy in return. So you walk away feeling absolutely horrendous and they walk away feeling much better in your presence. Now, this is something that happens, and notice how at no point did I say they drained us. We allowed it to happen. And even thoughts of, oh no, I'm around that drainer, or I'm around that person that drains me, you're automatically giving your power away. You're automatically deciding that they are more powerful than you are. You are a victim of their draining and that you are powerless. It's a decision that you're making right there and then. The truth is you are 100% responsible for your own energy. And there are so many things that you can do to make sure that your energy is strong and contained. The first thing I'm going to talk about is prevention is always better than a cure. So if you already know that you're going to be in an area where there might be energies that might be quite draining, or you've experienced in the past that someone's been quite depleting and you felt really, really yuck after being in their presence, make sure that before you see these people or before you go out to that shopping centre that's quite draining, to just take a moment to just check in with your own energy, really getting a sense of what your energy is. And I know this sounds strange, but we have this energy field around us, and to really, really hold the energy and make sure that we are aware of what our energy is compared to the outside world's energy. Just not making a decision about it, not making it right, not making it wrong, not making it superior, but just being really aware that this is my energy and I'm separate. Even though we're all connected, we're separate in energy fields. That's your first step. That awareness by itself is extraordinarily powerful. The second thing is to really, really tap into the boundary and protection that you have around yourself. Now, I personally have always got a pyramid of white light around me. It never comes down, it never will, and it works so well. Some people really prefer this bubble of energy around them, and that's a really beautiful way to delineate someone else's energy compared to yours and protect the boundaries. It's also really, really great from an energy healing point of view because it holds a lot of the energy in place and really helps with any tears in the energy field. So that's prevention. And there's also some really cool techniques I've shown in my courses and some of these podcasts where it's more energy medicine based. So tapping, for example, or an energy pool. There's a really great one from Eden Method, Donna Eden's program, where she puts one finger in the belly button, one finger in the third eye, and pulls up. And this pull-up experience, what it does is it strengthens the central meridian. And the central meridian, it runs all the way from the crutch to the bottom lip, I like to say. And it holds the energy nice and strong and really helps you from being depleted in a lot of the situations that you might come across. So the pull-up's amazing for that. Some people also like to do a zip-up. A zip-up, once again, same theory, using our electromagnetic hands, pulling the energy up from the crutch to the bottom lip, almost like you've got an invisible zipper. And this sort of really, it's more intention-based, I think, really holding your energy. Nothing's coming in unless I want it to come in. So you're making that decision. So these are some really good preventative techniques that you can use. And you'll only need to use them at the beginning because you're going to get so good at just deciding that your energy is not going to be messed with. Simple as that. But until you're at that point and belief system, you might need some tools along the way, like the zip up and the pull up, just to help you really believe that your energy is nice and strong. So that's some preventative measures. Let's just say you forget all the preventative measures and all of a sudden you found yourself in a situation where some random person is, you can feel the energy transfer happening. You've noticed that you've dropped in vibration without even realizing. Do not worry, this can be corrected. How cool is that? Everything works quite quickly with energy. That's why I love it so much. So basically you just notice it. Number one, that is your first key point. You've become aware that your energy is being affected by another person's energy. So that awareness has already brought you 90% of the way, which is so cool. And then you just make the decision to call back any high vibrational energies. Literally just in your mind. You might be having a conversation with them and you go, and in your mind you say, I call back all my high vibrational energies. Awesome, done. It works a treat. The amount of times I've caught myself off guard, losing energy, and I just bring it all back. That's a really, really great technique. But another one I spoke about in Are You an Empath was if you find yourself feeling quite depleted, but you're not sure how it happened, you're not sure exactly what exactly dropped in energy, you can actually ask, who does this actually belong to? Now, this is a really, really cool one because so many times you'll notice that you're actually picking up on other people's energy. And this is an energy transfer as well. So who does this belong to? Again, that awareness that this is not yours to keep instantaneously drops that, which is amazing. And I teach my healers this all the time because I find it's a really, really important point, because sometimes healers, while we're doing our beautiful sessions, we can actually pick up on other people's energy and think it's our own, or thoughts, etc. So this is a really great technique. Just ask, who does this belong to? If you really want to get quite advanced at this, and for those healers or readers or people in the industry, even counselors, psychologists, you name it, if you're out there and you're finding that you're getting really depleted, I'd love to share. I'm going to be running a course this November. So please leave a comment if you're interested or get in touch with me on, I call it Breakthrough Communication. But basically what this course is, it's a full day workshop. And it will become an online program. If enough people are interested, I will create it. So let me know if this is exciting to you. But this program is my signature way of actually being able to hold space for my clients. As you can imagine, I have so many clients out there that are really, really struggling. So they're not going to come in high vibrational. They're going to be thirsty for energy. Two things happen in my consults. I am holding my energy nice and strong. We spoke about resonance effect in Are You an Empath? So let's have a little refresher on that. When you decide, with all the things we've just spoken about, that your vibration is going to stay at a certain degree and you're not coming down for anyone. You've been working so hard on raising your vibration, doing your shadow work to clear anything that's been holding it down, and you want to hold that vibration up. So when I'm in the space of my client, I hold my vibration. I'm really aware of the vibrational experience that they're having, but I know that mine is different and mine is mine. So I hold it in place in the hopes that they decide in free will to raise in vibration to meet me. So instead of dropping to meet them, they have to meet me if they want to stay in my presence. Otherwise, it's way uncomfortable. And really, that's what energy healers do. We just hold a frequency that would be ideal for healing. That's all we do. So if you want to learn how to do this and you think it might be helpful in your industry, I'd love for you to connect with me and I'll get you organized to join the Breakthrough Communication Workshop. It's one full Saturday, or the online program that I might actually put together. So there's that. Now, for those of you that have been attuned to Reiki or some sort of energy healing, but even if you're just listening and you feel like you're quite connected anyway, what you can do as an extra option, and this is just for those of you that feel called to this, if you know that you're going to be in contact with someone that really is quite energy thirsty and you're really wanting to help them on the next level, what you can actually do is you can open channel. So those Reiki practitioners that are listening to me right now, you can actually open up your Reiki channel. So call in Reiki to start to stream through you as a receptor. So instead of what you've done in the past and give them your own energy, what you can do is you can open the channel, call in Reiki, just like you're doing an energy healing system, and you can allow that energy to flow through and they can drink up as much universal, beautiful energy as they want. Now, with Reiki, we always have to ask permission before we do this. So if we're doing a healing on the chakras and we're starting to be quite invasive, we absolutely need permission. But if you've got someone that's calling in energy, your energy, you can actually call universal energy in. And if they're taking it, they are actually making that decision themselves on an unconscious level, but it's actually happening you're just acting as a receptor. So instead of them taking your energy, you're calling in universal energy, and they can have as much as they want because it never ends. And it also benefits you every time you open channel and this beautiful high vibrational universal energy is flooding through your system, you're benefiting as well. So everyone wins, which is the way that we want this to work. So if you don't have to be attuned to Reiki or Heaven and Earth or whatever it is, you can just access and just have the intention of opening up channel for universal energy for the highest good of you and the highest good of all. But I highly recommend, if this is something that you want to play with, do a Reiki course. I have one coming up in January 2026 and April 2026 if you are interested. And I still have a couple of spots because I've just opened those doors. So if you are listening to this and it's exciting you and you think it might be a really good opportunity for you to still help people that are really quite draining without being affected, then absolutely this could be a solution. But I want to end this podcast with a really, really important message. You are 100% responsible for your own energy. And if you're finding that lots of people around you in your groups or in your workplace or your anywhere, home, are draining, use it as a practice. When you start to see things that were perceived as negative before as an opportunity of growth, that is the perfect way to think positively. That's the perfect way to be able to really get the most out of your life and start to constantly see every opportunity as an opportunity of growth. So I hope that this has inspired and empowered you to remember that you're not a victim to anyone's draining. You are absolutely in control. You make the decisions and you have so many options on how to manage your energy now. And if you've found this podcast exciting, then please inquire about my courses. We teach all about energy management in my Heaven and Earth self-healing course. It's the whole of module 4. So if this is something that you're really feeling drawn to or you're really being hijacked quite often by, then let's talk about getting you a bit more support around this area.